Hey, welcome to a beautiful evening out here at the River House. Despite the spooky lighting, it's only like 6 o'clock. So I wasn't even going to come out. I was just going to take a bit of a break, but the wife is heading to Kalispell tomorrow, and it'd be really nice if I can get one of those bucket teeth off, because then she could take it in and we can at least find out what kind of teeth they are. Even if they don't have them there locally, so that I can order some. But I have no confidence I'm going to be able to get the bucket teeth off, because I'm very sure I'm about to just break off all of my Allen sockets. That's if I even have one that's the right size. So the confidence level is kind of low. But we'll give it a shot. I'm willing to break some things. I have one windshield wiper modified for the dump truck, one wiper on it on the driver's side, and I'm gonna probably put the roof on the excavator. I found this nice roll of rubber matting here in the road, way out in the boondocks outside of Three Forks, Montana. So I'm thinking about cutting it up, because the roof of the excavator leaks, and this is handy and it's wide enough, whereas if I cut a tin roof for it, I think it'll rattle and bang and I'd have to use two pieces. And I'm just going to use it. It's probably a waste, but I don't have a use for it, so what the heck. If everything goes right and I either am successful or break everything in a hurry, I'll probably move some rock, just shovel it off the hillside. And the replacement top roller came in. So this is a replacement top roller for that very first one we converted to grease. I don't know why exactly, but the inside is worn right off of it, though the outside is okay. So gonna get it out of there, send it with Dad. He's gonna chuck it in the lathe, mill it flat, sleeve it with some heavy water pipe, and then put it on the shelf. So I'll have it just as a spare. It wasn't too bad. Whole thing even shipped and delivered to my house, which they did in just a matter of days. It's under $200. Some moto. Yeah, rolls nice. It's a little different. It has a snap ring that holds the end cap in. Whether those two bolts, I suspect those two bolts are in there right underneath that snap ring. And it doesn't have see, the ones I've got have got ports for adding the oil. So there's a port in here right in the center for adding the oil. This doesn't have that. It just has this one on the end. So I kind of assume it's full of oil. Hoping. Maybe I'll pull that and give it a squirt. Alright, so here's what we're dealing with the tooth. Once I scraped all the dirt out, I've got what appears to be a hardened 10 millimeter. Of course, just because the machine is metric doesn't mean the bucket is metric, but that's what it appears to be, is a 10 millimeter bolt on that side, and what appears to be a large square drive on that side. And that appears to be repeated on all the other teeth. Look how worn that thing is, huh? My weld is holding. And I was pretty hard on it. Well, that makes me proud of myself. Okay, so let's see what we can do with that. That does not appear to be 1/4 inch. It appears to be smaller than 1/4 inch, so I'm not sure if that's a special tooth nut or what's going on. But I can at least put a ratchet on that side and see if we can break a ratchet. Well, that is not what I expected to accomplish. I got it out. Look at that. Like a corkscrew looking thing. Big pin. This has got me concerned, right? Because it's got a special screw attachment on the inside of these. So that does not appear to be a standard cat tooth. But it should be nonetheless pretty easy to identify. Oh, I got part number. Well, that might help. Look at that. TK 300P maybe? Wish it had a name on it. I'll clean this up. Maybe it's got a name inside or something. Boy, is it worn. We were about to crack them off. Look at that. Oh, Dad said to replace them right before we started. He probably would have made it easier to break all this rock up. Appears to be reversible, though I don't think it worked quite as right. So I guess if I can't find anything, I'll flip them all around. No, I won't. What I'll do is I'll swap out for these center ones, put them on the outside. This is the one I pick with the most, so it's the most damaged. Okay. Now I'm just screwing around. All right. We have something to work with. Hey, it came out. That's already better than I thought. Alright, so I got my cover up there. To be honest, I hate it. I hate the way it looks. It's not quite wide enough. So it's got pins up there, so if you were to flip up the roof, and that was part of it, is that if I ever needed to flip up the roof, I can just, it's only attached in the back half. The thing weighs a ton. It's not going to go anywhere, and I just flip the rubber up and flip the roof up, hold it with a bungee like I hold everything else. But I just cut a piece of wood with some holes in it that slipped over the two roof pins, and then I just screwed it to it with some drywall screws, and there's another board in the back screwed to it. Whole thing could be removed with a pocket knife to cut the zip ties that hold the rear board. Otherwise it's all just held by its own weight. It's decidedly redneck, but it won't drip on the controls now, and I suspect that's probably just good enough. I wonder what folks do about the grading and just let it snow and rain on top of the motor. I mean, I guess it's been like that since forever, but I'd prefer if it wasn't like that. Okay, let's see if we can get a windshield wiper on that thing. So here's the adapter I made. This is the adapter Dad made years ago, and then I just adapted it to this used windshield wiper. No idea where it came from. It has rubber on it, so it is already 10 times better than the one that's on the truck. So I'll go attach this, and at least the driver's side will have something scraping the scum off. This is the dump truck motor. I know that Elderly and I had asked about it. Haven't really had a chance to do anything. It continues to pop out the carb. Dad's got it tuned really rich because it gets much worse when when it's leaned out. It's some sort of industrial 350, we think. When it tries to rev up, we get backfiring mostly at the carb, a little bit out the exhaust as well. Before bringing it here, I know that Dad replaced all the vacuum lines on the truck, and that made a serious improvement for the thing. Oh, how many miles are on it? It's like 70,000. Reasonably high, I think, for a truck its age. 68,000. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fire it up here in the darkness and have a little peek and see if I can see arcing out of the wires or anything like that. You know, I kind of think it fouls plugs, though it's been running pretty good since it's been here. But it does foul plugs. It sits for long periods of time. I think it would be 18 months since it had been fired when it was brought here, and it's sat for years, multiple times before. Not entirely sure. Right now it's got about 9 gallons of 50-to-1 outboard motor gas in it, and it seems to make it run a little better. So, but yeah, to answer your question, no, I haven't done anything with it. I haven't pulled valve covers and checked to see if I got flat rockers or anything like that. My plan of attack would be to check to see if we've got, you know, a rounded off cam, and then if no rounded off cam, I was going to spring for an electronic distributor for it and a new carburetor for it, and just bolt those on and see if that helps. But let me do my little test here. I think she'll fire up. It's below freezing, but I think she'll run. It's always been relatively reliable, even if it's reliably bad. Fired right up. I don't see any sparking, but I do think it's sitting here running with a dead cylinder. Oops. Yeah, it's definitely running on 7. So it basically always runs on 7, and then sometimes 6. So that's why my gut tells me flat cam, rocker, or something that's come loose. The hell does that say? I'm sure it's something I did as a kid. I think one of these days anyways, I'll have to pick up valve cover gaskets for it, and then I'll pull them and inspect it, start it, see if I got any loose ones, see if any flop around. You know, we were pretty sure that backhoe had a bad cam or a hole in the piston or whatnot, and we found out that one of the rockers had simply come loose and was just flopping around in it. So what the heck, why not have a look at her? I'd sure like to get it running before I send it back, if only to say thanks for the borrowing, though I suspect it'll be here for years, which is fine. So alright, at this point I am just sort of turning circles and spinning gears. you know, Mr. Bradshaw, that's what I got planned to try. And obviously you are the old Chevy Jesus, so you know you can heal any of these things. So if you've got any obvious stuff to try, love to know. Otherwise, that's what I got planned. One more thing before I call it a night. Shay has come up with an idea to display his and his mother's Powerline insulator collection. He wants to put it on a Powerline crossbeam, and then would sneak an LED into the center of each. And I know that I've got a Powerline crossbeam from back when this part was old Highway 200 right up there, and it's in reasonably good shape, and it's got most of the cup post on it, so I told him I'd come retrieve it before the snow flies. This is our strange nest concoction. Used to have ribbons and cut up pieces of pop can dangling from fishing line from these trees. Here long before us. I haven't messed with it. I figured it was some kid's creation while Dad was fishing or something. But interesting. More interesting and a touch ominous is I got a fresh survey marker over here. And a second one out over there. I wonder what's going on. They are well off the power line right away, or sorry, the highway right away. Or the highway is way off the highway right away. One of the two. I don't see standing water down in the bottom of the pit right now. This is one of the areas where we were going to clear out the cottonwoods and plant Shay's collection of trees. We got oaks and hawthorns and black locust, Chinese elm, a couple of varieties of maple, at least 2 varieties of birch. This was going to be his nursery area. We haven't done anything with it to try to wait and see what happens with the highway. I probably won't tell them that they're marking all the way out into here. And if they want this, they'll buy it from me. You know, I was already ghosting through this pretty quiet because this would certainly be the type of place a black bear would maybe want to hole up for the winter. So I was already moving and trying to be somewhat alert. And he is right. There are 2 dead trees down here. God, that kid doesn't make mistakes when it comes to trees. And there must be a bald eagle roosted in some of these giant yellow pines. Next thing I know, screech right above my head, and holy crap, a little poo came out. But I think he flew off, so sorry, Mr. Bald Eagle. Yep, there it is. I knew I had it. And I have got an entire bucket of these things, so I will be able to put all of them. That is not bad at all. There's a second one way up there somewhere. I don't know where it is right now, but yes, indeed, he will be thrilled. Way bigger than I remember. I think it's old enough to be from that time period when each phone line had to be a separate wire, and I suspect that's why there's so many pins on it. I'd have to replace 2, but I can pull those nails and get them out and put new ones in. Dang, there's a lot on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Dang, 18 spots, and if I get the whole drill out, there's enough for a bunch more, although it'll drive my wife crazy. They're not evenly spaced. It won't bother my kid, though. Hey, one thing Shay's not is OCD. Alright, well, you know, I don't know that we have accomplished... Hey, there I am. I don't know that we've accomplished a whole heck of a lot tonight, but we got a bucket tooth off, and I had like 5% confidence in pulling that off. Ha! Must have scared whoever was driving by. They hit their brakes pretty hard. Got a windshield wiper on the truck, giving it a total of 1. That's awesome. It's better than I had. 50% improvement. 100% improvement. 100% improvement. It's pretty awesome. You got to see the old dump truck, and, you know, always interested in opinions one way or another. But, yeah, it's a gorgeous night out here. If you're watching this before Thursday, the 21st, remember there is going to be a crazy 1-hour meteor shower. Don't miss it if you get a chance. Crazy 1-hour meteor shower. So it's going to start at about 9:50 our time here, Mountain Time, Montana. So you'll have to do your own time zone crunch. And it'll last about an hour, and they're predicting 400 an hour. So that sounds real cool. Check it out if you get a chance. And if you're looking up at the sky and you see a shooting star, know that we're watching with you. Welcome to the River House. Thanks for watching.